Everybody said that this was going to be easy for TFC. Everybody said that TFC is just going to completely roll over Chivas in this match because Chivas was absolutely garbage against the Red Bulls and clearly 100% didn't deserve to be in this final, and that TFC was overwhelmingly favorite and potentially is going to win this competition with ease. Yeah, with ease, right? What the actual fuck happened here? TFC lose 2-1 to Chivas Guadalajara, and they lose 2-1 at home, which means that Chivas is going to get 2 away goals heading back to Guadalajara for this. And honestly, I don't know what in the world was this kind of performance by TFC. I mean, throughout this whole game, I really felt like this game was very similar to what happened in the Red Bulls game, where for whatever reason, Chivas just have some black magic kind of defense that just magically decided to cripple every single team that's trying to go forward at each other. And in this game, TFC just couldn't do anything against a very compact and pretty much a team that just completely parked the bus throughout this whole game. I mean, TFC should have been at least scored 2 or 3 goals in this game, and yet they only score 1, and the only goal was from Osorio in the 19th minute. I mean, this is just, I'll tell you what, this is probably the first time that I have actually been very pissed off and just feel very incredibly frustrating after a match that doesn't even involve my favorite team. It doesn't even involve with my Quakes or my Chelsea team. The reason why I'm just so angry about this match is because TFC was carrying the MLS flag for one night only, and probably for also one night only next week in the second leg. TFC and the rest of the MLS community was reunited with each other for this match because we want to see TFC win. We want to have the first ever MLS team to win the CONCACAF Champions League. And, you know, in the past, every single MLS team that has got into around this stage usually tends to kind of collapse because they just kind of got overwhelmed by these Liga MX team. But this time, for once, TFC was in favor against Chivas, and it was Chivas the one that would potentially gonna get overwhelmed. And after this game, it feels like we basically have not learned the same lesson. It basically felt like MLS team continued to struggle in the Champions League final, no matter what kind of circumstances it, no matter if they're favorite in this or they're the underdog in this. And, you know, talking about this game and just going to a very kind of quick kind of talk about this game. You know, first of all, this was a nightmare start for TFC. Like, giving up goals in the first 2 minutes in the game? Like, really? Why would you give up a goal so early? The last thing you want to do against Chivas is to give an away goal so early. Why? Because you know they're going to just park the bus throughout the whole game, and just basically that is what it is. They get their away goal and they'll be happy with that heading back to Guadalajara. And that was literally the last thing I wanted to see. And when that goal came in, I was like, oh my god. This cannot be happening again. This is really bad. Now, fortunately, like I said, Osorio, of course, scored a goal in this game. Basically, it was a very good kind of holding up by Sebastian Javinko, and basically Javinko gave it to Delgado, and then Delgado basically run it in the flank, basically put a picture-perfect pass into Jonathan Osorio, and Osorio basically scored that goal. But that was really the only good play that I've seen TFC in terms of the attack throughout this whole game. You know, throughout this whole game, Javinko, once again, disappeared in big game. Michael Bradley getting booked in this game because of time wasting. And I understand that there are some people that are not happy with the call, because how can you get booked from time wasting when your team is desperately to trying to get a second goal and try and take the lead? Which is another thing that I also mentioned about TFC. There was no sense of urgency from this TFC team throughout this game. Like, I honestly don't get why there was no urgency. Why is this TFC team did not push forward in numbers? Because even if you overcommit, you will know that Chivas probably is not going to be very good in terms of their counter-attacking, even though that's probably what they want to play. And throughout this whole night, Chivas, whenever they go on the counter-attack, it didn't look like they were that dangerous in this game, and TFC is able to deal with it very quickly. But why did they not overcommit and show that kind of urgency and show the fact that they need this goal so that they can at least, at the minimum, ahead of this game heading into that second leg against Chivas? But nope, instead that isn't the case. And Josie Altidore, I don't know what was on his mind in that game, but I feel like he basically were pretending the Chivas player were Trinidad and Tobago player, because holy crap, his finishing in this game was absolutely shocking. How many chances he had in this game and how many times he fluffed a chance. It literally reminds me of what happened in that US versus Trinidad and Tobago game, where he, in that biggest moment where I was expecting him to potentially score a goal alongside with Dempsey, he did not deliver. And it seemed like this was the same case again for TFC. I mean, oh my goodness, what in the world was Josie Altidore thinking? Like, he was literally thinking that they were Trinidad and Tobago player. Simple as that. And I don't even know how he think of it. They don't even wear the same jersey. I mean, it is just absolutely incredible. And speaking of incredible, this second goal by Chivas, this was a pretty impressive kind of free kick. Obviously, you could kind of argue that Bono probably should have done a little bit better for TFC, but what a goal that is. What a free kick that is. I mean, I'm pretty sure Bono wasn't expecting him to hit that one from like 30 something yards out, but TFC should have never been in this position where they potentially will get fell behind, because Chivas, with just one magical moment, one black magical moment that is from them to take the lead. And like I said, I honestly don't know how the second leg is going to go. This is a huge mountain to climb for TFC, and probably this is the first time ever in this Champions League that they're going to head to the second leg trailing, and this is probably the bigger adversity that they're going to face. This is even going to be bigger than what they did against Tigres, because at least in that game against Tigres and the adversity they faced, at least they were ahead in that game. At least they had a 2-1 lead. Now they're down 2-1 in this final, and they have to go to Guadalajara, which is not an easy place to play. I mean, just ask the Red Bulls and Seattle of how hard it is to play at Chivas' home ground, and certainly the fans will definitely be very loud in that game. And if TFC does not win this, I mean, this is just a collapse. This is an absolute collapse. This is an absolute bottle job by TFC if they do not win this. And the fact that Chivas, a team that nobody would have thought that they would get to this stage, like everybody thought that Chivas would be knocked out by an MLS team, and somehow, in some way, they haven't been knocked out They haven't been knocked out by an MLS team, despite the fact that they clearly look completely outman and completely outmuscle in these games. And even the mighty TFC that has been able to beat some of the best team in this competition, like Tigres and Club America, and yet they still failed to beat Chivas. I mean, it is just so mind-blowing from what I just saw in this game, and you better hope that TFC can come back from this, because like I said, if they don't, this is a clear bottle job. This is probably one of the biggest bottle job that I have seen so far in MLS, and it would be an absolute tragedy to see TFC not winning this one. And it looked like they're if they play like what they did in this first leg, they are clearly not going to win it. Like, they are just clearly not going to win it. And, you know, some fans will also say the fact that, you know, TFC, the reason why they didn't look very kind of clinical going up front is because Victor Vasquez wasn't really in this game. And Vasquez is kind of a guy that tends to do very well in terms of breaking compact kind of defense, kind of like defense that kind of always tends to park at the bus. But at the same time, I really felt like even without Vasquez and without him in the lineup and potentially be a huge difference to this team, there's still no excuse the fact that TFC is going to lose this. There's no excuse at all, and they better hope that in the second leg they can redeem themselves and certainly redeem everybody in the MLS community, that they can put a better performance, or else this is just an embarrassment. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this game? I'm absolutely fuming about this game and absolutely frustrated about this. And, you know, I want to be optimistic coming into the second leg. I want to say that TFC can turn this around. But after what we saw tonight and how bad they were and how the team just looked nothing like the TFC team, like, this is probably one of the worst TFC performance I have seen from them in a long time. I mean, you know, I'm really hoping that they can just turn it around in the second leg. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.